If you want to know what it's like to start a podcast and have your partner help you set it up,
It's called torture. It's fucking torture. Our therapist, Donna, will hear about this. Neither one of us has patience because we're both Scorpios, and I want to rip his fucking head off.
welcome back. All right, let's do another voice note that is a podcast. Hi, everybody. Thanks to everyone that's been listening. I use Riverside. No, what do I use to upload? Buzzsprout. And it tells me how many times it's downloaded. 75, which to me is pretty cool. We'll get there. You'll also notice today that I have my iPad. You want to know why? Because I made notes of what I want to talk to you guys about. This is called pre-planning, things that I sometimes do when I send voice notes. Fun fact, my voice notes this week, my best friend / wifey, Courtney, was in Costa Rica. She was flying home, and I sent her a voice note completely. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. I sent her a voice note completely in a Italian accent, and it was pretty funny. And I won't do it now, but I will say I'm a very good. Obviously, that's not good. It's a joke. Catherine gets canceled immediately on her third episode. Okay. Remember last episode, I said I was going to tell you guys, here's the TikToks I'm watching because I think that's a good icebreaker. I want to know our feeds are the same. And I have some good ones today. First, Duran Bernard. He is a artist. He is a singer, and he is the guy who just won a Grammy. And you can see him like sprinting up to the stage, and he comes on, and he's just got like the best personality. He's been in music for a very long time, but this was his first Grammy. He is 10 out of 10. I love watching him. I love his music. So if you're not following along, how do you change so that it doesn't go dark? So Bernard, Bernarr, I think. Follow him. 2, all of the Mormon housewives are back on my feed now. I know that some of them are problematic and annoying. We cannot deny they make a good TikTok. I will be honest with you. I tried to get at Galentine's Day, and I will share video of how psychotic I was, but they know a beat. They know the drill. They can really do a TikTok well. It's hard work. And not to quote Michaela, the makeup girl, but like, you try being an influencer for one day. These girls got it knocked the fuck down. My girls got a lesson in how to run a good TikTok. And I'm pretty sure none of them will be coming back to Galentine's Day or my bachelorette party. Just kidding. They said they had fun, and we got one good shot, so really it's a win. And to be fair, when I do my TikToks and I'm voice noting, it takes me like 5 or 6 or 7 times. So the fact that they did it under 20, I'm quite impressed. But the main TikTok that I want to talk to you guys about today is they're called Rival of the Fittest TV. No, Revival of the Fittest TV. Revival of the Fittest TV. I assume this guy has like meta glasses on, or maybe he's got a camera and he's moving it really quick, but it's this store. I think it's a record store in New York, and it's just these most random characters of humans. Very unique. I won't say strange, very unique humans, how they speak to one another, how they interact with one another, the stories that they tell of their lives. I love it. They're probably about, I would say, 1.5, 2-minute long videos. I am not fast forwarding. They talked fast enough. Fantastic. Since I've been following them in the past week, I think they've gone up like 30,000 followers. It's insane. They're doing such a good job. It's the most random. So it's Revival of the Fittest TV. 10 out of 10. If you're bored and you just want to go through and watch like some fantastic reality TV, that's the TikTok. Also, Boythrob. Have you guys heard of Boythrob? They're back on too. And I can't tell if it is a real boy band and they're serious or if they're the greatest actors in the history of TikTok. I can't tell. Something happened with like something happened with Howie Mandel was rude to them. I don't know. If you're watching Boythrob, tell me, do you think that they're real? Are they serious? Because if they are, they're actually not bad singers. And if they're serious, I'm kind of 100% behind them. If it's fake, then it's funny. But like the shtick has got to be over soon. But if it's real, we need to get their boy into the country. If you don't know what it is, it's 3 guys who were trying to get their 4th member of Boythrob into America. I'm not sure where he lives, And I can't remember his name right now, Deshaun. They were trying to get him in, and they were singing their songs, and they're doing, like, really weird dances, and they're not your typical boy group looking dudes, but I actually kinda dig them. I don't know if they're real or not, but you know what? I will buy their album. This week we had Galentine's Day. You guys are probably so sick of me talking about Galentine's Day and hearts and stuff, but I think it is so important that you have female friendships and you celebrate them, and that's what Galentine's Day is for. Thank you, Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec. This year for Galentine's Day, I think I did Galentine's Day a couple years ago, and it was just like pajama themed, and we got drunk and gardened and did a bunch of things. But this year I kind of wanted to have something to offer the girls. So, 2 things. 1, I said it was our favorite things party, so everyone had to bring 3 of one of their favorite items. So, for example, some of the girls, their favorite thing was a lip kit. They brought 3 of the exact same lip kits. I made all the girls go around, and they had to introduce what their favorite thing was, why it was their favorite thing. If you saw my story, my favorite thing was a toy that, doesn't suction to thing well, pulses? Hmm? Get what I'm putting down here? So I gifted one of those or 3 of those. We went around, we talked about why we like them, and then I handed out cards, and we kinda did like a snake draw. So if you had, like, the lowest card, you got to pick something first. We went down the line, and then if you were the highest card, you were the first to pick for the second round and vice versa, and it went up and down. Some of these gifts, and I'm gonna make a TikTok about it so you guys know what the Rhode Peptide lip, and as I say this when I need some lip stuff, but the Rhode Peptide in the color ribbon was a hit. I'm pretty sure it went 3 for 3. Actually, I think mine was the first to go, and then everyone else took the lip stuff, and I was so annoyed because I was pick 8, so I was definitely not getting it. Um, Tons of lip moisturizers and thing, which is great for the winter. We had my toy. We had another toy that was different. It more so makes like a noise. Slippers. Michelle brought really nice Goldwell hair cream. We had Rio de Janeiro perfume from Lush, a Roots hat. I got a Roots hat. My aunt gifted a bunch of gratitude journals. I got one of those. I love a good gratitude journal. I've been using one for like 5 years now. Multiple for 5 years. Anyway, it was a great way to do it. We didn't have, like, a budget on I didn't want anyone to, like, feel constrained or that they had to spend a lot. I just said, "If you genuinely love it, get it 3 times and bring it." Courtney gave 3 bottles of wine, and each bottle of wine had her favorite candy on it. Genius idea. Anyway, highly suggest you do it with your girlfriends or people that you like. Doesn't have to just be girls, but I've got a feeling girls give better gifts than the men. But that was Valentine's Day. It was a lot of fun. We got drunk, like I said, it took, probably 20 good minutes to film 1 TikTok, and then I was like, "I guess we're done doing TikToks, like, I guess this will not be a group effort," but we got it done. My biggest thing for the TikTok, it was the one where, um, you saw us, like, shimmy and then high five. I will not put a TikTok out if we are not on the beat. The ones and the twos. If you cannot hit the beat, unfortunately, you will have to be at the back of the line, and we might not get to you today. So I was really forceful of them to be on beat, and I will post the TikTok, the behind the scenes of me going, "Shimmy, clap, shimmy, clap, shimmy, clap," because I was on their asses. Also, reality TV's been pretty good. Great segue. Great segue, Catherine. Reality TV. I wanna talk Summer House. I'm not gonna give you any new angles. If you are a Summer House fan, I'm not gonna give you any new perspectives. Rightfully so, Amanda is fed up with Kyle. I think what we're seeing is either there's one of 2 things. 1, they've already had the conversation of divorce and it's gonna happen, and now Kyle's trying to make it into a storyline, and Amanda's kinda like, "Fuck it, we're gonna have a good time. This is my last year in the Summer House. Let's go out with a bang." Or Amanda's already thought, "I don't see this working out unless he completely changes, and I know he's not gonna change, so I'm kind of checked out and I'm done, and I'm smoking pot every night and enjoying my life." And that's just what we're witnessing. We're witnessing, like, the very pre of them getting a divorce, Amanda. And if you have been in a relationship where you have also been checked out, because I think girls check out a lot faster than the guys, you know exactly what she's going through. She's not being mean. She is fed up. She's irritable and tired, and she's just trying to have a good fucking time, and then she keeps hearing that annoying sound. And I like Kyle. I don't have, like, too much beef with Kyle. I just don't think I think he wants to do his own thing, and that's totally fine, but so does my girl Amanda. And Amanda, if you ever watch this, if you're not doing some sort of collaboration with, like, a pre-roll company or some sort of CBD, THC company, girl, you need to call it Lover Girl, call it bed bugs, whatever, you need to do something because it's actually iconic, and I love her. Sierra and Wes, as a feminist, do I want Sierra to get back with Wes? Not really, not really. He did her dirty, let it go. But we all cannot deny that there is some 10 out of 10 chemistry. Sierra looks like she is living her best, healthiest, happiest life, and I love that for her. Girl's a genius. She has got the riz. She is charming, all of the things, but I still like Wes, and it's so annoying, but I still really like him. Not a big Jesse fan. Not a big Jesse fan. I think he's kind of like a dorky little brother that just happens to be like attractive and 6'5" or whatever he is. What else do I have on here? Carl, loving Carl. Love that Carl. You can tell that he's very much in his healing area, his eyes. If you go back and watch a few seasons back, even when he's sober, his eyes, they don't look as like lit up and lively. And I feel like we're seeing a more healthier Carl, not just from his addiction standpoint, but just what he's obviously been going to therapy and working through stuff. And he looks fucking great. The newbies, all the newbies, I think are 10 out of 10. They're going to have a great season. Once all of the original cast leave, I think they're going to have an awesome season. So that's my, that's my that was a lot, and I gave Courtney the exact same rundown when she was away because she couldn't watch it. I was like, "You're gonna fucking love Amanda just going at it with Kyle. By the way, I might want Sierra to just mess around with Wes a little bit." Traders, also, if you're not watching Traders, what are you doing? Love Island, Rob, hated. Gross. I actually didn't find him attractive at all and still don't. Do I think he would be a good boyfriend? Absolutely not. I don't think he'd be a great partner. Is he a great game player? Because he is lying so well and these people, and I can't tell if the rest of the cast is terrible at this game or if he's that good. It's really confusing. I'm a big Lisa Rinna fan. Not I wouldn't say a big one, but like I do like her. I think she is reality gold television. But him getting her out, he's gotten every single housewife out. That is iconic. You cannot deny he's playing a good game. Is he grimy? Yes. Playing a good game? In my opinion, also yes. Love is Blind is out. It's terrible. I'm so tired of it. I'm gonna watch it because obviously I'm gonna watch it. Vanessa Lachey, I'm not a fan of. I find her to be annoying, but not as annoying as some of these cast members. Wholly dry. Add some spice to your food. Do something. Boring, 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 blah, blah, blah. It's the same storyline every time. There's like people coming out of like my favorite part of Love is Blind is the tea. That's probably why I watch it, honestly. I will watch it because on TikTok, and this is why you have to watch these type of shows live. I'm a big advocate for don't go back to the first season and then get caught up. Watch what season's happening live so you get the cultural context behind it all. And then you can go back and watch it. For example, I haven't watched every season of Summer House because I just wanted to watch it once I started getting into Paige. Then that's when I started watching it. I think my first season was when Wes and Jesse first came in. I was like, "This show is fucking gold. Why haven't I been watching it?" But same with Love is Blind. If you've gone back and you're watching other seasons because you're like, "Oh, I need to get caught up," you don't ever. Don't do that. You can figure it out. But this season, there's already been people being like, "Oh, that's my ex-boyfriend and he's fucking terrible." And I am here for that. But it is boring. Don't waste your time. If you do want a good, in my opinion, the best reality love contest game show, it's called Maths and it's Maths Australia, Married at First Sight. I have to stream it on on a website that the government would not be okay with. But if you can find it, and I will maybe type it out somewhere hidden for you to find, it's fantastic TV. It's two people getting married at first sight. They don't see each other. They've been put together by experts, producers, and they get married. They have their honeymoon together. Then they all have to live. They don't all live together, but they live together in like an apartment building, and they have to do different, almost like therapy things. Like they'll have to, and it's really not therapy things. Now I'm about to like give you an example, but one of the examples of the tasks that they have to do, they have to do different tasks. One of the tasks they have to do is like rate the other contestants in like attractiveness. It always goes bad. Great television. They do like here's what like my interview questions were when I first applied to the show. Here's what my insecurities are. I actually really enjoy it for numerous reasons. One, because all of these tasks are very good and it's not just like random boring stuff. Like they're actually doing something to create a stir within the couple. So that's great. Two, they at the well, that plus there's like 4 episodes a week. So 10 out of 10. On like the 3rd episode each week, they have this dinner party where all of the couples come together, they have cocktails, and then they have this dinner party, and they have to talk about each other's relationship, and it always gets fiery, and people get put on the spot, 10 out of 10. Then, while all of this is going on at the dinner party, the therapists or the experts, the love experts, are in the back watching it on camera, so they're like, "Oh, Suzanne is being a bitch. We gotta bring this up on our next one-on-one talk." And what those talks are is all of the couples show up for an open therapy session. They have the experts sitting on like one side of the couches, and then they call up a couple one at a time, and they have to come and like pretty much say like how their week's going. And sometimes the panel of experts will say like, actually, well, we just saw this at the dinner party and you were being a bitch. And then you have to answer to them. It's great. Anyway, if you're into that, I would highly suggest go finding where you can stream it. It's MAFS Australia, and that one I will say, you can go back and watch a few seasons. 2 seasons ago, great television. Last season, excellent television. Cole even watches it. He's not watching it this season because some drama happened, last season that he now can't get behind as, like, a reality TV. You know what it is. It's people saying stupid shit and just it all being fake. I like it. I like it. It's my turning off my brain time. I could never be someone who's on TikTok just being like giving their opinion all of the time because I watch too much TV, and I think that would be a really people would be like, "Oh, you might need to get out of the house more." What else? You guys know I'm doing my 40 before 40. I'm still working on my list. So far, I wrote down my list. I have my bachelorette party is gonna be happening in June, which is very exciting, and that is on my list. I've always wanted a bachelorette party. Haven't always wanted to get married, have always wanted a bachelorette party, so I'm very excited. The girls haven't told me anything about it. That's not true. I know I'm going away for 4 days, and I know the theme is Camp Catherine. Fantastic theme. Whoever came up with that, genius. So my bachelorette party is gonna be on my list of 40 things to do before I'm 40. Someone commented to do, like, a group blood donation, so, like, get a bunch of girlfriends and go in and donate blood and plasma. I can't right now because I just got a new tattoo, but that is definitely something I'm gonna do. Cole and I have gone a couple of times, but to organize it as, like, a big group of women, I will definitely be doing that. I'm also wanting to host a oh, look, Michelle's messaging me. She says, "I'm very excited for Friday." Let's put this on Do Not Disturb. I'm hosting a golf tournament, or I would like to host a golf tournament this year. As you guys know, I play golf. I'm not good, but it is a great way for women to get out of the house for 4+ hours, go for a walk, hit a couple of sticks, have a few glasses of wine with your friends, drive a cart if you want. I'm a big fan of the experience of it. And plus, if your husband or boyfriend or partner, whoever, are going out for that many hours, guess what? Now it's your time to get out of the house to go do those things. And it can be fun, and you don't have to be good. And as someone who's working at a golf simulator place right now, I will tell you right now, your husbands aren't good. None of them are good. None of them are great. None of them are great. Some of them might be good-ish, but none of them are great. And you can also be shitty on the golf course too, because I watch them and they all freak the fuck out for no reason. Next week's podcast, Catherine gets fired from the golf simulator. Also on my list, I want to every year I do a letter to myself on my birthday. The letter is to be a year forward ahead, that version of Catherine writing to myself to say like, "Oh, look at all that you accomplished." And so there's a few things on there that I wanna accomplish that I need to write on the list, and I will share. I also wanna write more. I always joke that there's books that I wanna write, so I might even dabble in that. There's a lot of things I wanna do before I'm 40, and one of the things probably should also be to, like, chill out a bit, because sometimes what I am noticing lately is I've been, pushing myself a little bit too much and not saving time for big dog. So maybe that's something I have to do as well. Therapy session on a podcast voice note. But that brings me to my main thing that I wanted to talk about, and how long have we been talking for? 22 minutes. Are you guys at your destination yet? Do you have to, like, circle around a few times? Remember, I just wanted to do this podcast so you guys would have someone to listen to while driving. Um, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about content creation and doing it as a career. I'm not gonna do air quotes because it is totally a career. Um, this week I announced on my LinkedIn that I was doing content creation full time. It was I hate LinkedIn. I'm not a fan of it. It's a bunch of people blowing smoke up their own asses. But I did feel, because I come from corporate and tech world, that it was important that I do this, because I was having a bunch of people messaging me on LinkedIn being like, "Hey, where are you at now?" And not that I cared to give them an answer, but I just thought, you know what, I'm going to put it out there almost as a not an experiment, but an exercise for me to really sit in the idea that I'm doing content creation now. One of my goals to my letter was to myself was to get more on YouTube, and doing the podcast is putting me on YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say it, because once you start saying things, and like this is part of manifestation and like building, but once you start like saying and doing how you want to be, then all of a sudden you're doing and saying how you want to be. Very technical, Catherine. Very technical. But you know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you wanted to be the healthiest version of yourself, chances are that doesn't mean you're gardening and sitting on the couch 10 out of 10 and then being like, "Oh, why did I not get healthy this year?" You're out walking, you're moving, you're looking at what you're eating, all of that stuff. So, um, part of this announcement on LinkedIn was just me to be like, rip the Band-Aid off and tell people what you're doing. And really, I feel like I should be proud of what I'm doing. Like, it's not that I'm not ashamed of doing the content creation at all. I think some of the feelings that I'm working through is because I put so much, and I feel like a lot of millennial women will be able to hopefully agree or resonate with this, but like, you put so much effort and time and stress and your whole being into your career. And I did for a very long time. I used to work at a company called Shopify. They're a huge e-commerce platform. It was my favorite fucking job. I had the best time. I learned so much. But I was putting a lot of myself in there, missing family events. I got to travel a lot, which was great, but it meant that it took me away from people that really did recharge my battery, which is my friends and family. I was getting up to do 4 a.m. phone calls and staying up to 11 doing other phone calls and events. And then eventually I got laid off. Now, that said, I was able to buy the house that I'm in right now thanks to the shares that I was able to get through working there, and obviously through my salary, which was a very good salary. But I got laid off. And then I went to another company, which I was like, they like doubled my salary. And then I got laid off again. And a lot of my being and how I identified was someone that I took care of myself. I bought my own house. I had my own dog. I paid my own bills. I went on trips, paid for everything myself. I and some in my past relationship out earned with Cole. I was out earning most of our relationship, but then he blew me out of the water and it's really annoying. But I put a lot of emphasis into that. So going from working a job where you know what you're getting salaried every single week, every single month, to content creation, where I will tell you right now, as a Canadian content creator, it's up and down. It's all over the place. And like, I'm having to learn new skills, and I'm putting myself out there to be viewed upon, and I don't always have the most, confidence. It's difficult. I will say it's difficult, but on the other side of it is oh, maybe I shouldn't put my foot on that. The other side of it is I genuinely love it, and I get, like, amped up, and I'm starting to meet. I mean, you guys know I've met, and I'm gonna say just befriended, Sarah Nicole, the Birds Papaya, Brianny, who is someone that I've looked up to for years and years and years, Alicia McCarville, again, someone I've looked up to for years and years and years. I've made friends with Fallon, with Laurel, with a bunch of incredible Canadian content creators that I look to for not only advice, but inspiration, and kind of like that drive to be like, "Dude, you're fucking doing it." Same with, actually, I'll tell that story. So I've been laid off twice. I say 2.5 because one time I laid myself off after I was doing consulting. I just couldn't do it anymore. And then I got fired from my last job. And when I went to my last job, I can remember feeling something inside me being like, "Ugh, I'm still being pulled to doing socials. Like, why am I getting pulled to socials?" So many of my friends was like, "You need to be doing more with social media. Why aren't you like doing social media for companies?" And I was like, "Oh, it's not really my thing. I don't know if I really want to do that or if that brings me joy." But I kept getting something was like pulling me. And this is before any of the videos had gone viral with Michelle. I think it is definitely before I even did anything with my sister, that I took this other job. And then some of the videos started going viral. I started doing more of the voice notes, and they started to really pick up. And during that time that I was working at this old company, I was approached by talent management. I work with Shine Talent Group right now. They reached out to me to say, "Hey, like, would you like to sign on?" And at the time, I was like, "This is great. I have no brand deals. This might bring me some brand deals. Might be something that I can learn, you know, marketing wise." And it was great. I'm so thankful that Shine saw something in me, but I ended up getting fired from that job, which not a great feeling. And if you've been laid off or fired, you know, it fucking punches you in the gut when it comes to your confidence. And I remember I have a good girlfriend. She was like a mentor, or she still is a mentor to me, but I was using her as mentorships and leadership and guidance that I needed in this new role. Um, and I kept putting off our calls. I think I put off our calls for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I jumped on a call and I was like, "Hey, I have something to tell you." And her response to me was, "Did you do content creation full time? Is this what you're doing? Did you quit?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually embarrassed to say I got fired." And she was like, "Who cares? Sometimes it's has nothing to do with your ability to do the job. Sometimes it's just not a good culture fit, and it's just you're not the right place and not the right time." And she's like, "And to be honest, all signs are pointing for you to continue with this and like poke at it and figure stuff out." And on top of that, my background is in marketing. My background is in working with brands, creating experiences, and working with customers and building communities. And she's like, "You're doing all of these things through the TikTok and the Instagram. Like, why don't you keep doing it? You have a talent manager. Like, figure this out. Start using all the skills that you're giving to the companies onto yourself." And after that conversation with her, I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I am doing it." I had like a working session with her. I've had a few working sessions with a few friends. I have lots of friends who are like I've built a lot of friends not only now through content creations and people who are content creators all of the time, but people who own their own businesses, and getting some, you know, helpful advice or like guidance there, and I'm able to provide that back to them. I've got a girlfriend in Atlanta. Her name's Venus, and she owns. I've talked about her, or I think I've shared her brand a few times, but she owns Blank Wardrobe, and her business has gone up and down and all over the place, and she's kind of like resetting some things. Uh, and anyway, I say all of that because I'm having to kind of relearn how to work for myself again, which can be hard and very lonely at times. I'm having to be like, okay, I need a schedule because on top of the content creation to help supplement my income, which is nowhere near what I was making, which is also a gut to the confidence and ego. Um, but I've to supplement some of the income, I am doing social media work and marketing work for other companies around town, which I'm actually quite enjoying. But the problem when you start doing those things and doing TikToks and Instagrams for other companies is you lose some of that creative stuff, that juice that I was putting into my things. So right now in this past week, I've noticed like, hey, I've really got to figure out how to balance. I've got to work a schedule that makes sense so that I've got enough time for me to do my recordings and my things, but then also enough time to put in the work to get paid to do things because money is good. I like money. I'd like more of it. I wish you could do a tree and it would just fall money for you. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to all of that to say because I know I've had a few people come up on my TikTok and Instagram talking about them getting laid off or not liking work. And I think, you know, I'm about to turn 40 this year. And it can be scary thinking, oh my God, you're turning 40 and like you're pretty much starting a whole new business and like a business that is very I don't wanna say weird, but, like, not conventional, not something that you grew up being like, "Hey, this is what, you know, you go to school for, you're gonna do." I get it that I'm very fortunate and lucky to have the audience that I do have, and I wanna continue to build on that and learn and grow with you guys and be authentic in me and, kinda, like, be my version of content creator or influencer, that maybe I don't see so often, so that was vulnerable. And I also have daddy issues. No, I'm joking, not joking. Um, but I have seen a bunch of people say that they've been laid off, and trying to restart. And all I can say is like, even in the times that you're at your lowest, because being laid off twice, the first time I was a wreck. The second time I laughed quite a bit actually and was like, well, fuck it. What else am I supposed to do? Even getting fired, there was like a sense of relief almost because I was like, it really, in all honesty, if I was able to take myself out of my body and talk to myself, it wasn't working anyway. I wasn't enjoying it. I was enjoying the content creation so much more. Um, but I think what really helped me get the feel of the content creation was a lot of friends and family being like, you're fine. relax. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna figure it out. Also, the big dog who I just complained about, Cole, who annoys the fuck out of me when we're setting this stuff up because we have a difference in communication styles. I like to be right. He likes to be annoying. He's also very supportive. So shout out Cole for being nice and supportive. And he probably won't listen to this, so he'll never get the shout out. And then I don't have to talk about it. 30 minutes, guys. I told you I was just gonna be like short and sweet to the point. Um, what's coming up this week for us? Poppy and Peonies, our favorite brand, our favorite bag brand that you guys know. They're having their 10-year anniversary. It's crazy to think that they've only been around for 10 years because I feel like I've known them forever. But they are having their 10-year anniversary. They're having a pop-up in Toronto, so Michelle and I are going. I'm gonna try and get maybe Michelle and I can do, like, a podcast while we're driving. Dangerous. Or maybe we'll yeah. I'm gonna try and force her to do a podcast somehow. That's where I usually do my voice notes. I do my best voice notes when I'm driving, so maybe it is time to do, like, a voice note while driving or a podcast while driving. But we're very excited about that. Michelle needs to get the fook out of her house. Callum's been sick, Violet's been sick. Winter, we're all in that mood now where we're over winter, we're over the short days, we need sunlight. It's really nice out right now, so we're probably gonna go for a walk after this. But Michelle and I are gonna go away, which is I love traveling with her and getting under her skin, and I will do that more. All right, as okay, I'm gonna do a call out. If you've gotten this far in, send me a voice note. Send me a voice note through Instagram. I think there's a way I can, like, set up a group chat in WhatsApp, but I think that could be dangerous. But send me a voice note, and I will play your voice notes, on the next episode, and I will try to get Michelle on as well. Like and subscribe. It's also on if you're watching or if you're listening to this in your car and it's on Spotify or Apple, you can also watch it on the YouTube. You can see the dog sleeping in the background. You can see the chair. You can see the mess that is the kitchen. This is authenticity here, people. Thanks for listening. Sorry this was a long one. Sorry this was a podcast, not a voice note. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your drive. Hopefully you got to your work or your home. Now, maybe you listen to this while going to work and you're finishing it while coming home. Be kind to yourself. Message your girlfriend, say that you love her. Have a bath, light a candle, and get some sun. All right. Toodles.